Welcome to the Bite Size Brilliance Podcast. I'm your host, April Darley, and today I want to talk about normality. So, it was really common in my former life as a physician for somebody to ask me, is this normal? Does this look normal? And that presented in a slightly different way when I started to specialize in mental health and wellness, mindset, well being, because there's something inside of us that wants to be normal. Because your emotional brain that lives in your subconscious is all about, do I fit in? Do I belong? Am I special? Am I good enough? Am I worthy? And when you have these fears that maybe you don't belong, it feeds that information right down to the bottom of your brain in your unconscious or survival brain. And that survival brain starts to get a little worried. Is she normal? Is everything okay? What happens if you're not okay? We're going to be in trouble. So, that unconscious or survival brain is actually your default brain, and it will hijack the other pieces and take over if it feels that you're being threatened in some way. Now, that can be an actual threat, like you're running from a tiger. But what happens more often in modern day life is that it's what we call a perceived threat. It means that you're not actually in physical danger from thinking about, do I fit in? But if there's this perceived danger that if you don't fit in, then you're going to be isolated or ostracized or rejected or abandoned. And when you're rejected or abandoned, then you're alone. And that survival brain knows that if you were to actually physically be alone in a terrible apocalyptic situation, then your chances of survival decrease radically. And that brain's whole job is to keep you alive. So, what it does is it feeds that information back to that subconscious emotional brain that says, girl, you better do whatever you can to fit in. Because if you don't belong, if you're not normal, then that's a threat to your very survival. And this stuff is going on in the background like a program that you're not even consciously aware of. But there is this desire to fit in, to be special, to belong. And so when you start thinking about normality, there was this TV show, and honestly, it was several days ago, and I cannot even remember what it was. But one of the characters said, everything becomes normal if you do it long enough. Now, I'm going to let that sink in for a second. Everything becomes normal if you do it long enough. So, if you're thinking about a skill that you want to learn, trying something new, it's going to feel extremely scary at first because there's that piece of your brain that goes, what if I fail? And it's the same sort of process. If I fail, people will laugh at me. If they laugh at me, they'll reject me. If they reject me, I'll be alone. And if I'm alone, I'll die. So that keeps us from trying new things because your survival brain is like, hold up, wait a minute. Nope. New things are unsafe for you. They threaten our very existence. So let's not do that. So we're going to have to override that programming and be courageous to try that new skill or that new thing. And guess what? If you try it and you do it for long enough, it gets easier. It becomes normal. And it's not as scary anymore. And it's not as scary because you gave evidence and proof to that survival brain that if you do this thing, you're going to be okay. And you will not actually die. It's like that scene from The Hangover, It's like, but did you die? Right? Your brain is constantly like that, right? But did you die? So you do need that proof. And this is where you have to let that conscious brain take control and to really tell yourself, I am doing this skill or thing or task to improve my life. And that if I do it long enough, it's going to be normal, it's going to be safe, it's going to be routine, and I'll become an expert and have mastery of it. And I can even teach it to others when I learn it well enough. So anything in life is like that. So that was an example of how it's a really good thing. So now I'm going to give an example of a really bad thing. Is if you have a thought that is self-critical. If you tell a story about yourself, a thought you continue to think over time becomes a belief, and a belief will dictate your actions. So again, everything becomes normal if you do it long enough. Even these negative thoughts that you think to yourself. I'm not good enough. Nobody likes me. I'm going to end up without a partner and I'll die alone. If you put those thoughts on repeat over and over and over, then that becomes your new normal. And the rational piece of you right now is going, I don't want that. Like, in no way do I want to be reinforcing the fact that I suck, I'm broke, I'm ugly, nobody likes me, I don't fit in. But what you have to do is to engage that courage again. If that has become your normal because you've done it long enough, then it is possible to rewire your brain for a new normal. That you are worthy, that you're beautiful, that there is a fantastic person waiting out there for you, that health, wealth, success are right around the corner for you. They're possible for you. You are allowing them to come to you. These thoughts, these beliefs, these stories, these practices can become your normal if you do them often enough, consistently. Reinforce the good. You will change your thoughts, which changes your emotions, which changes your beliefs, changes your actions. Then you begin to operate from a place of worth and confidence instead of a place of fear. And I cannot stress how powerful this is. I think it's so powerful. I built my business off of it. And I teach people this three brain system of thinking and problem solving that once you know how this works, it is so expansive to your brain. It's like that old saying, a brain once expanded can never contract. And when you learn this system for yourself, when you begin to see it in play out in the world, you will never go back to thinking your old way. It's impossible. You learn a new framework for life. And that is what I teach all of my private one-on-one clients. I teach you this system on day one so that every single session we have after that is reinforcing this new system and creating a new way for you to see the world, go about your business, and thrive in it. Okay. So if you would like a piece of that mindset goodness for yourself, then head over to aprildarley.com. You can book a complimentary 20-minute phone consultation where we will talk about how this system can solve the problems that you're facing in leadership and life. Because I love to help innovative thinkers balance leadership and life so that they can achieve their goals without sacrificing their health, wealth, and freedom, because those are the things that matter the most. All right, my friends, I am wishing you so much love and success, and I will see you next week.